Hi everyone, welcome to a Stamping to Share video. My name is Kalthoff and today I'm going to show you how to use the Framelit dies to make a frame, and then you can make a card just like this using the product suite from Stampin Up that features the Sweet Shop stickers. These make really quick, fun projects and they are mouth-watering to look at. Makes me hungry just making a card like this. So anyway, I'll go ahead and get started by showing you how to use the Framelits. Previous video that I did showed you how to store them on a magnetic sheet in the original envelope that they come in. I did have a customer tell me that she was having trouble picking up her Framelit from the magnetic sheet, and all we had to do was turn it upside down. So you actually store your Framelits on your magnetic sheet with the cut side down. That allows you to get your fingernail underneath it and lift it up. If you store it cut side up, it adheres so tightly to the magnet that you really can't even get a finger under it to lift it up. Now if you imagine these Framelits numbering 1 through 6, with the smallest one being 1, we are going to use Framelit size 3 and 4 to make our frame today. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And now we need our Big Shot machine. And I'll put this right here so you can see what I'm doing. Of course, I have a cutting plate on my Big Shot machine. Who doesn't? And it's really, really cut. My cutting plates never seem to break. I just use them forever. And then on the cutting plate, I am going to put a piece of Lucky Limeade paper. Now, I did have a couple of people tell me that they noticed that sometimes when they use their Framelit dies, they would slip. So what I do is, and I know there's different people out there doing different things, but I find it very easy just to take a little dado and put just a strip of dado on my paper. And that's going to hold my Framelits in place. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll put my smaller Framelit down, and I'm going to put my larger Framelit right over the top of it, and this will make my frame. And I am using Lucky Limeade paper. So we have it all lined up and we're ready to go. And I have a no-cut plate now that I put over the top. And this is always challenging to get my customers to remember that we don't cut with this plate. Here, let me move this so I can show you. But what I did is I took a clean plate and I drew a big square in it with a Sharpie marker and wrote no cut at the top, flip it over, no cut at the top, and some X's on the side. And the reason I did this is that way, when you put the no cut plate over the top, you can see exactly where your Framelit is sitting, and you can tell whether or not it is slipping, and you can sometimes prevent things from happening that you don't want to happen. So anyway, I can see that everything is perfectly lined up, so I'm just going to run it through my Big Shot, and you'll notice that I have all the tabs stacked, which means there are no tabs on this cutting plate. We're using as thick of a thickness as possible with our multi-purpose platform. So now we go ahead and we just remove everything, and we are going to have one beautifully cut frame. Now of course we have just a touch of dado on this edge, and so then what I do is I just take our adhesive remover and I just gently take that adhesive off, and then we're done. We're ready to roll. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to use the Big Shot machine again, and we are going to cut our cardstock vellum along with our white, whisper white paper that we'll need underneath it so that the sticker shows up. So again, we're going to use the same procedure, and this time I'm just going to put a little bit of dado again on the top of my vellum piece. And now this time I'm just using the largest of my frames. All right. And the reason is because that way we have a large enough size. Oh, and I'm stacking them too. I'm actually going to cut 2 pieces of paper at one time. Now typically I wouldn't recommend this because I think the bottom paper looks a little bit rough, but because it's going to be underneath everything and nobody's going to see it, it doesn't matter. So I do feel comfortable cutting both at the same time. So now we're going to run this through the Big Shot machine and take it off, and we've got frame. You can see how this is going to work. And of course I'll show you exactly how to do this. I'm just going to remove the dado. And again, I probably wouldn't have even put dado on here, but for the sake of demonstration I wanted to do it so you'd have a second chance to see how I do that. Now to assemble this, and you know, I wonder if it wouldn't help for me to take off this white sheet. I think you'll be able to see things a little better. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to put the vellum part down first, and then I'm going to flip over my frame and actually put a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue on my frame. Then that goes right over the top of the vellum frame. And I like using the multi-purpose liquid glue because of course then I can wiggle it into place and make sure that it's perfect. Oh my goodness, doesn't it look perfect to you? It looks very perfect to me. Now, because we want this sticker to kind of look floating, what we're going to do is use some stamping dimensionals. And I love the fact that our dimensionals have an edge, so we can really use some of the skinny pieces to use with frames. So we don't really need too many. So I'm just going to put about 4 of these skinny edges down onto our frame. There we go. Then I'll take off the little protective paper backing. And now this gets put right over the top of our white background. There. Oh, I love it when everything works out perfect. And of course, it's perfect. So now we're going to put our stickers on. And let's see if I can find, oh, what did I do with my stickers? Oh, here they are. So we're going to use this cake sticker. It fits really, really nicely into our frame. So I'm just going to set that about right there. See how nice that looks? Then we're going to take, I think, this little Lucky Limeade green heart, and I'm actually going to place it, whenever I'm doing real small things, my fingers just get in the way. So I like to use a Stampin' Up! Paper piercer, or as people call them, poker tools, to use as a guide for placing. So that's just going to go right there. And I learned another little tip that from a fellow demonstrator, and she was telling me that her downline actually puts the little rope rhinestones that Stampin' Up! Sells onto all of her paper piercers, and that way they don't roll off the table. They might roll a little bit, but then they stop because the rhinestones forces it to stop. And I just thought that was such a cute idea, so I thought I would share that with you. So here we go. We have our cute little sticker all ready to go onto our card. Now I did pre-prep the card base. It's just your basic card in Calypso Coral, and then I have a panel of Lucky Limeade, and then I cut the designer paper 1/8 inch smaller and layered that over the top. And of course on the inside I put a little cupcake and a little green candy next to it. And now we can just go ahead and glue our sticker panel onto our card. I think that looks about right. And then the very last thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of ribbon, and I'm going to put a mini glue dot onto this ribbon bow. And we're just going to put that right there. And there we are. Our card is done. Have a great day. Thanks so much for stopping by Stamping to Share. Bye-bye.